Hello. Today we'll be talking on a more serious note about current events that are happening in our country.
The gays!
Welcome to the EDS podcast, part 1. I'm Ashley.
I'm Ellis.
Shy.
Angelique. Our new special guest. To start things off, let's talk about the Charleston shooting.
Alright, so I woke up one morning and I get a little beep beep from my phone, and it says man kills 9 people in a Charleston church, and I was just super confused. 1, why? 2, how? 3, what? And I was just baffled. And then when I finally found out what it was all about, I was just thinking, oh, so this is a hate crime. This is an act of terrorism, right? Maybe, says the news. Perhaps, says everyone else. This is a hate crime. This is terrorism in itself. You can't go to a church and say, ba-bow, ba-bow.
Oh. Especially to a pastor. It's just...
He was a pastor and a senator.
What makes it worse, though, is that he was with them for, an hour and prayed with them.
Yeah, he prayed with them, and I think he went to the Bible. He was in the Bible study. It's just how messed up do you have to be?
And then later he was like, you people are the reason why this country's going, downhill.
Yeah.
And I was like, you were in there praying with them, and then you stabbed him in the back like this? That's rude.
His actions, his haircut, and his whole life is what's putting this country downhill. Have you seen this guy? Ew. That's what I have to say about him.
I second that. It's definitely a crime against humanity. It's a racist crime. I hate when people are like, maybe it's a hate crime. It's a hate crime. It is a hate crime. He went into was it a high-powered rifle? What was it? The gun?
It was a .45 Colt. It was a handgun.
Oh, wow.
If you're going to shoot up that many... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to use that vein of thinking. But, it's a hate crime. Plain and simple. You shot up one section, one group of people, and you said to them... Specifically, this is what is dragging America downhill. I hate when people say it's not about race. It's about race.
He wrote a manifesto. He wrote a manifesto about black people and how they are horrible and ruining the country.
Clearly, it's a hate crime,
yeah.
and I don't argue, because literally the evidence is all right there. It's all lined up, and you're just gonna ignore the fact.
It's I think people want to try to forget so hard that things like racism and stuff like hate crimes
exist.
Or they want to pretend it, so they blame things like mental illness or he just it was just one isolated event, who could have known, it doesn't work that way, and a lot of these things are coming to light and people are tired of it. They're we're not gonna sweep this under the rug anymore, no more it was a mental illness, no more definitely not a hate crime, it's people are tired of it, and it's a big issue.
If you go into a place and you shoot it up, and this was just spur of the moment, I'm gonna do this, maybe I can give you mental illness. But when he planned this for 6 months,
and you target a specific group of people,
and
that's planned.
It's sad, It's a senseless act of violence that killed 9 people who were people that were pillars of the community,
doing nothing but praising Jesus.
And literally, what does that even say? You go into the communities, they're supposed to be safe there. That's supposed to be a safe haven for a lot of people, and you go in there and you you perform an act of violence. How shaken up does the community feel when their most safe haven apparently can be targeted like that?
Yeah, he violated the whole sacred right of what church is about. Now, I'm not a particularly religious person.
People.
Shut up. But even I understand that, you don't go into a church looking to do hate. You don't go into a church looking to do crime. It's not what you do. It's like when people steal from church what is it, tithes or
tithes?
Yeah. When people steal from that, it's disgusting. You become lesser. You become a base human. You go from, like, ultimate form of humanity to, like, the lowest of trash. And I can't respect the people that just don't want to say it like it is.
Some would say the word monster.
I could say monster, but even then, we still have to keep in mind that they're still human, and they're still doing wrong
Is this
things.
a human thing to do?
No, but...
Is this a human act?
But they're still human. If you give them that monster title, you raise them to, like... People get off on that. Those type of people, they get off on that. It's the same thing with the Boston bomber who suddenly decided he's going to apologize because he's on the he got the death penalty. It's like, you don't get to apologize. You blew up people. People died. It's too late. If that guy apologizes, the guy that shut up the church, I will never be able to accept that shit.
I doubt he would apologize.
Some people do that when they're on the death row. They're like, oh shit, I'm gonna die.
Most people will do anything when they're on death row, like, you know, like, you don't want to die.
Yeah.
There was a video that I saw. It was I think it was also on the news. It was the victims' families saying I forgive you.
Yeah,
that was deep.
That was super powerful.
I was just like, wow.
That, yeah.
But
wow.
Better person than me.
Yeah.
I would be like, string him up.
Yeah.
String him up.
Stop.
No, I agree with that, though. It gets to a point where it's just like, you can't excuse white on black crime. You can't excuse it. You can't push it under the rug. It's why people are chanting Black Lives Matter. It's why people get so upset. It's just how it is.
A lot of people are like, all lives matter, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, but
Yeah.
right now we're focusing on these lives over here.
Because this is the community that's getting attacked.
That's something I never understood at first, because all I kept saying was like Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, don't all lives matter? But then I had it explained to me that we're focused on these specific lives right now. I'm like, oh,
It's because
of
what's happening.
It's like that one thing. It's like, oh, like we all bleed red, and then someone's like, yeah, but whose blood is being spilled in the streets? And it's like, you're right.
Yeah, all you can do is sit there in silence, because that's when you realize you're just being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to prove your own point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and speaking of people who keep wanting to prove their point, the Confederate flag gonna get taken down in a lot of places.
it already did on the day of that funeral, or the viewing. A lot of states took it down.
Which is good.
Unfortunately, our state is being stubborn about it.
Yeah, I noticed, because I went to Stone Mountain with Mons, her sister, her friend, and Ryan. She pointed out that, Stone Mountain still had, the Confederate flag up there, and I was like, disgusting.
For all of you that don't know, we live in Georgia, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, we should go up there and take it down.
You're gonna climb a flagpole. Are you gonna look me in the face and tell me you're gonna?
You set everything on fire.
Wait.
It's a mountain.
Wait.
If you set the entire mountain on fire.
That's not.
Wait,
that's not how that works.
can we talk about the fact that I'm gonna walk up the mountain?
True. I didn't think about that.
I'm not.
She'd have to walk up the mountain, then climb
the
a flagpole.
Well, no, I mean they have the rope.
Pull the rope.
But even then, they can
stay up there till
they can lock it though. There are ways of. That's true.
If you set
Cut it.
the
Set it
entire
on fire.
mountain
Oh my
on
God.
No, they're
Shy, have you ever tried to set a rock on fire?
It doesn't work.
A simple rock.
No
it
way.
does not work.
Just because they're trees doesn't mean anything. There are deer living there, and they're pretty.
There
You
are
would
deer.
focus on
Okay,
the
Fall Out
varmint.
Boy didn't die for this. They said on fire.
Fall Out Boy didn't die. So
Fall Out Boy didn't die for this. They saved rock and roll. That rock was on fire.
Light 'em up.
Proven.
no. Okay. Anyway, flawed science logic behind music. Anyway,
Before we were going to talk about Confederate flags, I wanted to bring up how, remember I went to Atlanta and I saw, one of those marches for Black Lives Matter, and we're like, yo, right, and I posted the video, and then people, love to argue against it, and that one guy was like, oh, all lives matter, blah, 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 just because I'm white, blah, 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 and I'm like,
it's like check your privilege, please.
and he's like, not all of us are privileged, and I'm like, we're more privileged than others, though.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but if you have any kind of pale skin, and I'm not, it's just, even me, I'm light-skinned, right? You still
You're
have
half white?
privilege.
Yeah.
I'm half white. I'm half black and half white. I have a privilege. It's just,
Something that needs to be recognized. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people feel attacked when it's brought up because they feel like they're like, oh, like, you guys, whatever, like, no one's pointing fingers. We're just pointing facts. Like, if you feel uncomfortable that you hold a position of power, instead of using that to hurt others and silence others, how about you use that to help? You know?
It's called institutionalized racism, kids. Look it up and learn, because it's real.
Learning is half the battle.
That is true.
For me, the Confederate... okay, growing up in the South... Alright, both my parents are from Mississippi, born and raised, and...
Deep South.
Deep South.
Yeah.
If you have ever been to
Anyway.
Mississippi or ever go to Mississippi, there is nothing. Nothing. There's nothing to do. It's just hot and rural.
And there's a river.
There's a river. That's it. That's the only thing that it has. But growing up in the South, I always saw the Confederate flag, and I was like, okay, because I've been saying it around so much that it never bothered me. Even after I learned about the Civil War, it never bothered me because I live in the South and I was raised by parents who grew up around that, and it never like really affected me at all. But now we have a generation of kids that are looking at it and saying something, because like, I'm not going to say older generations never said anything about it.
I'm sure there were people that did, but they were probably silenced.
Yeah. But like, now kids are like, now like people are like realizing I have a voice and I can shout, and now they're saying take it down. And I like linked this to like a country shitting itself. Like if the United States is a country, and the Civil War was the worst thing that ever happened in our country's history. I'm not going to say that 9/11 wasn't bad. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the Civil War, where brothers are literally killing brothers over an institution that is not worth saving.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have this country that is shitting itself, and then is proud that it shat itself. Like, not...
It's like a big baby.
Exactly. That is America. America is still a big baby.
Right.
We are 200-something years old. Countries in Europe are thousands of years old. Nazi Germany, like, realized what they did. They apologized. They did everything that they possibly... Well, not everything that they possibly could. Well,
they paid money, and their economy went straight to shit. Have you ever seen those old black and white photos where, like, the money, they're like,
the kids are playing with the money?
Grocery shopping, and they have this huge brick of money. They paid their dues.
Yeah, and the Nazi flag is illegal. The Nazi hand sign is illegal because Germany has shame. Germany shat itself and is scared of every day that someone brings up that it shat itself. Yeah. America is not scared, and
America's
that's not something to be
it's
proud of.
Like smearing it around.
No.
What we did.
Yeah, and on top of that, the way they teach it, it's interesting because, you know, I grew up north. I grew up in New York, and I moved down here about 6 or 7 years ago.
New York.
Shut up. Anyway, in New York, you don't see the Confederate flag much. Actually, ever. I don't see it hanging anywhere, but then again, it's up north, but it's still America, you know? It's not actually that far away. New York to Georgia is like a 2-hour flight.
I thought you were going to say drive, and I was like, chill.
No, that's a 24-hour drive.
It can be pictures.
No, it can't be. It can't be a 2-hour drive. But like I was saying, it's interesting because there's a marked difference between how the North and the South teach the Civil War. In the North, it's like this terrible time in history, and they're like, you know, America, this should have never happened. In the South, a lot of my teachers were just like, the Civil War, Confederates, the South seceded, and they make it seem like
it
a
wasn't
parade.
That bad.
Yeah, like they make it seem like it was okay or like it was an acceptable thing, and it's like, this is why people are getting angry about the Confederate flag, particularly people that are Northern, because it's just like, dude, that's not good history. Like, people were enslaved, and people didn't want to let that go. It's like, no. That's not cool.
Welcome to the South, Angie.
And
I know.
Where if you do not like Jesus, football, Or if you don't
believe in straight marriage.
If you don't believe in straight marriage,
no, I know. I've lived down here for like 6 years now, but it's interesting from that point of view of growing up in the North.
Is the ultimate goal for a Southerner to be able to watch Jesus marry women after winning a football game?
Yes.
Probably.
Wow.
If you go to Texas, it's probably like someone's biggest dream.
They probably hate it though because Jesus is brown.
I know, and that's the other part.
I hate
once in a while,
it.
Yeah. You always see pictures, and it's like, it's a white Jesus. You're like, really? You think Jesus had blue eyes?
It's funny, because growing up, you would, you'd see sort of a Hispanic version for me, slightly, but, deep down, I was like, if he was born here in Nazareth, he would be brown!
Yeah.
I was like,
he would actually have hair like a black person.
I know, and people,
Jesus is a brown-skinned, dark brown hair, black hair,
Jewish guy
with brown eyes,
super hairy,
brown eyes,
Jewish guy
who was a carpenter,
who was a carpenter,
born to a teenage mother.
Yeah, that's true. Mary was super young when she had Jesus.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So, you know what? I don't know if I necessarily mind that whole glorifying the soldiers. It's still suckish and it's still shitty. But it's not as bad as that flag. Because those are historical figures. I know in New York there's a whole bunch of northern, generals and stuff. They have statues all around New York and other states. That makes sense to me, But when you glorify it and you make it seem like it was okay and you're proud of that history, that's when I have the problem.
Hey,
and I'm a history major.
Hey kids, gather round to the big rock. These people wanted slaves. We lost.
Okay.
We lost badly.
Good.
We starved.
The only I give General Robert E. Lee a pass because he did not like the institution of slavery, but he loved his home of Virginia so much that he was willing to die for it, and I find that respectable.
I can
Good thing he died.
But if you try to save an institution where another human being is being
treated like cattle,
treated worse than cattle,
true, that is true.
Then that's not an institution worth saving. We are all literally different but the same. We're human beings with ideals and dreams
and identities.
And identity. If you give someone a name, that is an identity. They are now a person.
What I want to talk about is everyone's reaction to Obama using the N-word.
Oh my god.
I was like, good for you, Obama, because of what he said. Yeah. But everyone just wanted to focus on the dumbest thing.
Because
they didn't read the context in which he used it.
I bet they were just vaguely listening. They heard it. Oh my god.
What people don't realize is that he is a black man. Okay?
Half black man.
Well, half black. Yeah, sorry. I forgot he's half black. But regardless, he is still a black man. When people look at you and you're mixed with any kind of darker skin,
you get shit from both sides.
Well, not just that. People assume that you are that darker, nationality. People don't look at me and go, "Oh, you're white." They go, "Oh, you're black." They're not wrong. I am half black, but I'm also half white. So to me, he's still a black man. It's the same way I'm a black woman, regardless that I'm mixed with white. That's the type of thing where it's just how fucking ignorant can you be? I'm not gonna get mad at another black person for using the N-word. That is,
especially the way he used it.
Yeah, it's context. It's all context. I hate that people do that.
Yeah, after all the years he had in, office, he's finally, getting tired of all of it, and he's, trying to put a stop to it and putting an effort, and everyone's just
his legacy, he's already built his legacy. He's built it.
There was, literally a bunch of people who called him...
racist?
No, who called him the N-word when he was elected.
Yeah, that's true.
All this, he was getting all this shit, and he just sits here and he just takes it all in, and then he does his job.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he's just like, "Oh well, yeah, this," and then everyone just loses their fucking mind.
Yeah, and you're just chill, man, come on.
But the one thing that he said that really hit me was when he was talking about Sandy Hook, when he said quote, the fact that Congress didn't do anything after these 20 kids died is utterly disgusting, and I feel disgusted. And I was just like, did they not do anything? No. Apparently didn't do anything. Oh my god.
Didn't do anything.
I don't know what needs to happen, but we just need to take just a giant hand and just clean Congress's slate.
Well, the problem is that Congress is filled with a lot of... Oh, sorry. The problem is that Congress is filled with a lot of older people. Now, I don't have anything against older people, but we need fresh blood.
It's true.
The people that get elected...
They're not dying fast enough.
They're not.
I mean, okay, that's true. That you got some people on there that are in, like, their 80s, and it's like, really? It's more like...
It's old world views.
It's old world views.
Yeah, and so many of us are modernized and are thinking that it's not
the old world
It's not
anymore.
working.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Woman, you can't do anything.
Yeah. No, but that's how they think.
No, that's how they think.
And then on top
Why would
of
I
that,
say that?
No,
Yeah.
I know. Another thing I might say, about the slaves. A lot of people argue white people were enslaved once too. Hispanics used to own blacks, and I was like,
owning people is wrong. Period.
yeah, and I was just like,
Does that make
it doesn't matter.
any better if I killed my dog and you killed your dog? Am I any more? No.
No.
Two dogs are dead now.
Any form
you're
of
still
murder
wrong.
is wrong.
Any form of owning people is wrong.
However,
that would be like
I will
me enslaving you.
However,
Peach,
I
and just
will
being like, this is okay. Peach is Hispanic. I'm black. It's fine.
However, I will bring this up. A lot of people are like, oh, well, didn't some African tribes, like, sell their own people? It's like, you have to understand. In a lot of other countries, they don't own slaves the way that Europeans own slaves. When they owned slaves, a lot of it was like more like indentured servants, and they actually had some kind of rights. But when the Europeans, when they owned slaves, there was no humanity whatsoever. So in their minds, they have war enemies. They're going to sell them. In their minds, they're selling them off like indentured servants.
Yeah.
They didn't know how bad they were actually being treated.
And on top of that, even then, that could be a survival thing.
yeah.
If I know that people are getting sold and I'm trying to preserve my own, like, this is not my personal way of thinking, but I could see how it would happen. You want to preserve your own life.
If I'm stronger than this person, I can control, and I take them under my wing and take care of them while they make me stronger as well. This mutual relationship...
Well, no, slavery is never
it's
a
not
mutual relationship.
Well, I'm not talking about slavery, I'm talking about the indentured servant part. Where it's just like...
and they could work it off.
Exactly. Like when Europeans first came to this country, what did they have? They were
indentured servants.
Indentured servants. Then they were like, oh, well, we can't keep enslaving all these Europeans. Hey, Native Americans, you want to work for us for free? No? Great. Grab.
More like
work.
Kill. Not even. They weren't even like
kill.
Work. They were like, you die.
Give us your
goodbye,
land.
friend.
Give us your land.
Yeah.
Never. Well, that's too bad. Kills them.
Yeah.
Rapes their women. Takes everything that they loved and held dear.
What's up with people and just raping women? I never understand that. Why can't you just kill the guys and just move on with your life?
Because that's not...
It's an act of terrorism.
Yeah, it's an act of hate. It's what people, unfortunately, it's what they did.
They came into our village. They raped our women. Why?
That's just what they did. It's an act of ownership.
Why
you
do
have
people
to keep
do it
that
now?
in mind. Because, well, back
People
then...
fucked up.
That is true. Back then, it was like an act of ownership. Like, oh, we owned you guys in the most fucked up ways.
I slid my dick all over your women.
Gross.
It's like when
Ew.
people are playing, like, I don't know, Call of Duty, and they're like, haha, teabag.
Yeah.
See?
It's like, yeah.
We owned you guys, haha.
But, you
And
know...
then they get called the N-word, and then it's like, whoa, what are you talking about, 12-year-old boy?
Right?
12-year-old Tommy Weisenho or whatever.
Weisenho.
I don't know.
So, that's the end of that.